Welcome to Some Guy's Garage. We're back in the basement and it's done. I guess it's done. Permits are closed. Everything is pretty well in the finished state and it's at furnishing time. But I thought it would be a good chance before we get anything else in here to take you on a walkthrough of the finished product and where I've ended up. I will do one more video after this, or at least on the basement part itself, about how much this all costs to do. But for this video, it's just taking you through what has actually been done since the last video, I think was in December or something like that. So it's been quite a while and there's been a fair bit more progress. So this video will just take you through the last finishing touches that made the basement finished. So when we left off last time, flooring wasn't in, cabinets weren't in, windows weren't done. There was a bunch of that stuff about to happen and obviously has happened. But there is quite a few little stories to tell along the way here, so stay tuned for that. But we'll start off with the cabinetry. So all of the cabinets are in. We've got nice uppers and lowers here with the sink. This is the kitchenette. There will be a fridge here eventually. But the cabinets turned out great, really happy with them. These were semi-custom cabinets from a local company that did our upstairs, and really happy with the work they did, and their installer was fantastic as well. So I did have these installed. I didn't do it myself. It was part of the deal. But they did a wonderful job installing them and they are quite nice. So along with the cabinets here, they also did the bathroom, which will come over here, and they did the cabinet for the sink as well as a linen tower in here. And like I said, they installed all of this as well. So that is cabinets, and I guess while we're here, this is the bathroom. So last time the tiling was on the floor and the backsplash of the shower was done, but since then I've added the glass. So it's a sliding round glass here. It comes around this way. Kind of a neat look and slides really nicely. And obviously got the shower valves and grab bars and towel bars in as well. Toilet's in and sink is obviously in as well. Quite the story with the toilet. I bought a American Standard Cadet 3 from Home Depot. I bought one, got it home. It had marks and damage, so I went back to the store to get another one. The second one I got after opening 4 boxes in the store, so I actually opened them up to check for that same sort of damage. The tank lining there was all peeling back, but then the one I ended up picking that didn't have the tank lining problem ended up having the part that comes down to flush the water was clogged with casting, like it was cast shut. And so that had to go back as well. So I went through 5 toilets, Cadet 3s, to try and find one that was good. None of them were good. Eventually went to a plumbing supply shop, and this is the Cadet Pro, sticking with American Standard, and this is a well-reviewed toilet, so don't know why I had such trouble with the Cadet and American Standard in general, but this one works great. But that was a bit of a ordeal going through that. And obviously the other thing, we've got light fixtures in now, so there's a couple different kinds of lights, and this one does a cool night light sort of thing as well, which is kind of neat as you flick the switches. And the other thing I mentioned, I was changing out the windows, so there is a new window in here as well now. It's an awning style and has the frosted glass so that don't need a window covering necessarily to keep private in the bathroom. But yes, other than that, the bathroom is done and ready to use. So turning around back to the office shop side, do have a new window in here as well with blinds on it. So the blinds actually just came this week and have those installed now, but you can see the awning style window without any middle bar, not a slider in the middle, and latches on either side. And these are triple pane and they have been quite nice windows. So we have those in now. Obviously all of the actual finishing down here is all done, light fixture as well, same as the bathroom style, so it can do that kind of night light mode as well, which is neat, along with the shop lights that I showed previously that are really, really bright. And I have gotten the plates and everything covering the conduit drops and the things for the TV and behind the stack of audio equipment that'll end up in the closet. All the stuff for the network and things like that are down at the bottom as well. So all of that is complete. And you can see I'm starting to mark out on the floor here where cabinets and benches and desks and all that sort of stuff will go as well. And like I mentioned, the closet here, so doors, that's another thing that has all happened, I guess just worth mentioning. All the doors obviously got installed over the last little bit, all the trim and that sort of stuff all around all of the rooms, all the baseboards, all the trim, etc. The doors are all solid core, so I ended up just blanket, everything just got solid core doors. Even the closet ones, I had originally planned maybe for a steel door on the utility room, but ended up going with a solid core just for the ease of installation with the vinyl plank flooring on the bottom and how it fit underneath and such. Surprisingly, doors and trim take a lot of time, so I spent quite probably over a month even just trimming out and getting all of the doors installed in here. But that was a long process. But behind the doors, in the closet here, we have put in plywood. So, and I say I have put in plywood. The closet's entirely done with plywood all the way around. This is 1/2-inch birch plywood, so it's a little nicer of finish. It's not as rough as a normal plywood, and wasn't that much more expensive per sheet, maybe an extra 10 bucks per sheet to have this sort of plywood. And I'm not going to paint it, it's just going to stay rough like this. Most of this heavy audio equipment's going to end up in here. This is going to be a storage spot for it, and given how heavy and boxy and bumping around, having just plain old plywood is going to make this thing more durable. The other thing I did in here, which is kind of neat, behind the fireplace there was a bit of dead space, so I boxed out a little chunk in here just for some extra storage. Nothing too fancy, just a plywood box that's kind of set into the wall and fit to the space. And then over in the far corner here, I've added all of the jacks for the stereo equipment, so all the surround sound speakers, and you can see all the HDMIs and cable and subwoofer feeds and network and stuff in that far one as well. I'll be able to feed all the stuff out in the rec room part with this for audio, but I also have HDMI feeds to the computer and back so I can share the video signal across. And then you'll see this shelf, this floating shelf here on drawer slides. So it pulls out. This is where the audio equipment, the AV receiver and cable box and stuff like that will go on this shelving here. So probably the AV receiver up here and then any other little accessories down here. And it can pull out so that I can get behind it to wire everything up easily. And the reason for doing a shelf up high like this is I can still use the storage space down here for something like the big subwoofers or whatever. I can tuck them into this corner and makes the space very usable. But yeah, that's generally the closet. Ceiling's not done in here, but this will let me pull wires later if I ever need to as well. I can get all the way across from the utility room at this end down to here. There's a conduit drop here and gives me access to the drop ceiling across through the joist to either side. So yeah, that is the closet. Moving back over onto the other side, you can see fireplace is done and in and operable. It's not heating right now, but you can at least see the kind of light show that it does. It's an electric fireplace. And I had the cabinet folks do tops for these as well. So I say tops for these, and the ledge here, this is matching to the cabinetry over here. So I'm able to have kind of a continuous flow through here and a nice place. This will be where obviously the TV is, and this will be where a couch or something is going to end up going. So having a spot here to leave like remotes or other little things just behind the couch will be kind of nice to have. And again, blinds on the windows, new windows in there. And while we're down talking about windows, we do have French doors in. Not super happy with the install work these guys did. The line up here and things like that are not great, but the doors themselves are really nice. The product's nice, the installers were terrible, and have some cellular shades on them just to block neighbors from seeing in or anything like that. Those will open up and tuck out of the way, but French doors here, and will let me get really big things into the basement. Both these doors can open. It's a walkout basement, so you can just come around with, say, a couch or whatever and bring it right through here nice and easily. And then, of course, light fixtures also in this room. So I have some sconces on the wall here. They're kind of LED backlit ones, kind of to give a nice vibe there. And then track lighting here and here to light up the general area. Looking at the utility room, so not much exciting here. This is about the same as where it was. Still kind of a mess with all the leftover paints and other tools and stuff that I've been using. I did build some shelving in the corner for some of the big saws, so like I can have my miter saw here and my table saws down there, the tile saw, stuff like that can get stored in there. Through the X-Max, if you guys have watched any of my RC videos, through it hanging up here, just up out of the way. Finally found a spot to keep it that's not eating up a ton of floor space. But not much else has happened here. Electrical has long since been signed off. Panels all nice and clean. So that's been done for quite a while. I don't know if this toolbox will end up staying here long term or if I'm going to do some storage shelving, but got lots of time to sort those sort of things out. And then moving on down this way, like I showed, cabinetry and everything there. The compressor room here, so this is where my big air compressor is, and tires and things like that are stored. Some of those Montezuma toolboxes that I can potentially use in the shop, so looking forward to kind of arranging whatever I do with that, but I have the little shop box and the bigger triangle in there. If you haven't seen my reviews of those, go check them out. They're really nice toolboxes. But compressor, some storage for wood and other little odds and ends are in here. Not too much exciting. And then finally moving down into laundry space. I only continued the flooring through to here. I didn't do the rest of the laundry space, just given LVP and the machines on that. I don't know if that would be great. Probably would rather tile down or something like that in here, but no rush really to do that. Otherwise, not much has happened in here. It's about the same as where we left off last time. Bit of ceiling, bit of drywall, but still kind of a rough, half unfinished space. Then looping back to flooring. So this is probably the last thing to talk about. If you had seen my previous video, I had a pile of flooring kind of sitting right here, just getting ready to install. That was from New Age, which it was a garage type flooring that was intended to be a bit more durable. It was still a vinyl plank, but the stone composite core version. I tried to put that stuff together and it kept breaking. Every single tongue and groove of that stuff broke. And they actually sent somebody out, tried to do it themselves, and they're like, no, this is just not gonna work in this space. I did self-leveling on the floor. The floor was as good as possibly could be, so it was nothing to do with that. They said the underlayment, I was using some of the DMX one-step underlayment, could have something to do with it, but in the end, they took it back. So I sent all of the flooring back, and they charged me a small restocking fee. It was a couple $100, but they knocked it down from what it otherwise would have been, and so I don't have that flooring. This is instead the Cortec brand flooring. So it's the 8mm, I think Classic Series Cortec flooring. This has a cork backing and is the regular kind of LVP. This stuff went together beautifully. This was really easy to install, relatively speaking. And so far so good. We'll see how it holds up. It might not be quite as durable as the New Age stuff would have been had it gone together properly, but at least this installed easily, cut easily, and in the end actually looks quite nice. So I'm happy with the flooring. Just, it was quite the ordeal to deal with that. Now, the other thing that happens because of that is I had originally planned to put the New Age stuff on the stairs. The stairs, however, for the Cortec cost almost as much as all of this flooring. So the cost per stair tread was something like a couple $100 per individual stair tread for each of those. And I decided that was a little too much money. It was going to be nearly $3,000 or something like that just for the stair treads, and that seemed a little crazy to me. Probably crazy to anybody to spend that much on stair treads. So funny enough, I was able to get oak stair treads. These are from a local mill shop, so there's somewhere that kind of specializes in doing woodwork and stuff like that. They were able to make me raw stair treads, and I stained them as best I could to match the flooring. Took quite a while, and probably 5 or 6 colors of stain and layering and steps and water popping and all sorts of stuff to get them to turn out the way I wanted. But in the end, I actually have oak stair treads for about $1,000 rather than vinyl stair treads for like $3,000. So that ends up being really nice. And then after staining, coated them with polyurethane and installed them. I cut them before I did any of the staining or anything like that, just so that it would go all the way to the edges and not blemish any of the stain. And then I also stained a new oak railing to go along with it. So there used to be just kind of a utility grade finger jointed pine, but got a solid oak railing as well to go with this. So it matches the stairs and everything else in this area. And then, like I mentioned, for the ledges here and the top of the fireplace, they also did a ledge up here to finish off or cap off that wall. And of course then lights up in here. So we have just a regular light that kind of matches the rest of our upstairs part of the house. Another one of those kind of LED disc lights that we have in the other rooms. And I also changed out the door up here to a solid core as well, just to further block all the sound. So that's the staircase and everything down into the house. This, oh, and I guess the other just thing to mention is these are the birch plywood that I had in the closet, same sort of thing, just painted the trim white and patched any of the nail holes that I used, but glued on and stuff like that, and kind of gives it a nice overall look. Nonetheless, you notice that it was, I think, December when I posted the last video, and it's August now. Took quite a while. I lost a good month just on dealing with the flooring problem between all the back and forth, and may have even gotten closer to 6 weeks dealing with the back and forth, but then also ordering the new flooring, waiting for that to come in, along with sending the other stuff back. So that took up quite a bit of time. And then the extra labor to deal with the stair treads, so staining and finishing and figuring all of that sort of stuff out, rather than just slapping on an LVP plank on the stairs. It took quite a bit more time. So that ate up a couple months of time, surprisingly. Cabinets were all on time. Doors and windows, I had some issues with what they did. I ended up redoing the jambs that they put in. they did a pretty terrible job on them. They were not even or anything like that. And there was some other little odds and ends that I wasn't happy with the installation of the doors and windows that I had to fix up. But then also just the little stuff. You gotta go pick lights and install lights. You gotta go order blinds and wait a few weeks for those to come in and then install them. And even just in the other rooms here, so like going and getting a mirror and towel bars and the dealing with the toilets that didn't go well, all of those things add up and make the process of finishing take longer. You think you're 99% of the way there, and that last 1% takes another 30% of the time or anything like that. Anyway, so that is the basement in its finished state. It's all done. Like I said, permits closed out, everything. The inspector for the building permit was really happy with all of the work, and I'm happy with how it turned out as well. It took a couple of years to get to this point, and short of the drywall, the cabinetry, the window installation, some of those things, I've done all of this myself with the help from a friend of mine as well for a couple things, but in general, this is all my work, and it's kind of cool to see it in its finished state finally and ready for the next thing, which is furniture. So I've already ordered a couch for it. I will be picking up a TV and sound system for down here at some point, and then the next big project is to build the desk and workbenches and whatever else I do to equip this room. So that's gonna be my next big thing to tackle here, to get this space into a usable state rather than just a big empty set of rooms. I will do one more video on the basement talking about how much all of this cost. So I have kept very detailed spreadsheets of exactly what every single purchase, down to like individual wall plates or all the trim, the flooring, the framing, the insulation, all of those different pieces and what they cost. And I'll do a full breakdown video on that just so you can see what goes into the cost of basement with materials only. There was very little labor that I paid for on this other than, like I said, something like the drywall. And I'd consider this a fairly nicely finished basement. I didn't really skimp on anything that I decided I wanted to have done down here. So it's done to maybe a higher standard, and there's things like switching out the windows that cost a fair bit of money that most people don't necessarily need to do. Anyway, that is all for today. If you have any questions about the basement, how it went, or any of the steps or things involved, let me know in the comments below. If you aren't already subscribed, please consider it. I do a lot of DIY things, both down here and in the garage and around the house. So if you're interested in that stuff, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of it. And as always, thanks for watching.